What's up, everybody? Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video right here on the markets. The market opening so far, the New York session opened about 45 minutes ago, a little bit longer if you're watching this video. When you're watching this video, but it has been very volatile right now. Bitcoin and with that also the entirety of crypto or major altcoins as well are at it's at a crucial level right here. We had a lot of news coming in as well. So just wanted to do a full update here. We have quite a lot to talk about. So let's get right into it. Now, the fundamentals right now are pretty good. You can see right here that if you go to the S&P 500, that has been relatively strong over the course of today. In general, we see the volatility index drop down. US bond yields have also stabilized. So there's some more stability in the markets. And that also has that positive effect, as you can see right here on the S&P 500. But outside of that, it actually seems like the bid that we did not have yesterday, that's returning. I mean, you can see the Coinbase Bitcoin premium right here is rallying up higher, and that's especially since the US opening that has been the case. So that all looks very bullish, but then obviously what we still need to wait for is the actual technical reclaim, right? We talked about this. We talked about it this morning, and I also did some updates on X. And the main thing that we want to see from Bitcoin is a reclaim of this level right here between 93,250 down to the previous day value area low right here at 93,000. We need to break above that if we still want to get that move into 95,750, right? If we're unable to do that, we can put in all the volume we have or all the volume we want to put in, but then ultimately we're not going to break out, right? Or at least then ultimately it's not going to lead to anything. And right now you can see some altcoins are absolutely profiting from this momentum from Bitcoin. But still, it doesn't really mean that much yet for Bitcoin specifically. So unless the Bitcoin dominance starts to crash down, which at this point of time hasn't happened yet, that's ultimately also going to lead to a pullback for altcoins. But all right, so we'll talk about Bitcoin and the possibilities in a moment a little bit more. Like I said, we had some major news today as well. We had some major news for XRP, for example, about the CME group expanding crypto derivatives with the launch of XRP futures. We'll talk a little bit more about the price of XRP in a moment. We had Securitize debuting a new crypto index fund with Mantle. Amazing news. Security is also tied to BlackRock, so we might see some bullish momentum coming in for Mantle. And then we also, but you could have already seen this with the price, we also saw Polygon introduce the aggregate layer breakout program with some sort of an airdrop. So that has provided a lot of bullish momentum for Polygon, which we haven't seen in a while. So that's great to see as well. But yeah, so those are some interesting coins to trade right now in terms of volume as well. But let's talk about Bitcoin a little bit more. So for me, in my opinion, there's basically two main scenarios right here, and that's either a breakout right here above 93,200. If we're able to reclaim that with the volume we see right now, with the strength we see right now, I think like. Obviously, the first target would be the main resistance level right here at 94,000. But I think we can easily get into the POC, which we made during November and February, right here at 96,000 and 96,500. Right, so that's the main level to break. And like I said, if we spend all this volume we're spending right now and all the momentum we have right now, and we're unable to get that breakout, then I expect a pretty nasty, pretty aggressive unwinding down to this level here at 91,000, 90,000, and then it can go south very, very quickly, right? So that is something you do need to be aware of. If we're not able to get that breakout soon, it's going to lead to some ugly price action. So those are the two scenarios. If I have to give you my most likely scenario here, look, I'm not certain. I think you just should wait for the price action to develop, and then if the main support level, like the main local support level for Bitcoin here is that level at 91,750. If we drop down below that, then it's probably over, right? So then we're going to get that aggressive pullback. If we're able to hold that, we're fine. Those are my thoughts on Bitcoin. Now, a quick interruption for breakouts, which, by the way, I'll leave it down in the description. Amazing service, all right? Allows you to trade with up to $10,000 or $100,000, I believe, and you can actually trade with their money and take the profit. So check that out. Alright, a quick interruption here to talk about Breakout. Breakout is the #1 crypto trading prop firm, which basically means they can give you money to trade and you can keep most of the profits. So very simply said, how it works is you have to go through an evaluation or a challenge to prove you're a good trader. Alright, so you can go from an account size from $5,000 up to $10,000 and you have to go through the challenge you can see right here. Make 10% profit, max drawdown of 6%. But if you're through that, you can actually trade with an account size and make up to 90% of those gains, which you can easily withdraw. So if you actually want to start this evaluation, which I think is very interesting to a lot of you, here you can see the evaluation fees. I'll leave a link down in the description together with a discount code, which actually it gives you a discount to start this challenge and to give you a chance to trade with real size and to keep most of the profits. But now talking about a couple of altcoins right here. First of all, XRP. Initially good reaction to the news, but so far, especially if Bitcoin is not able to break out, it's most likely going to lead still to a pullback into 2.05. If Bitcoin is going to be able to break out, which remains to be seen, and as long as it hasn't broken out, I would assume we won't. But if we can, then we can get back up to 2.3 and maybe 2.4, but that seems very far away. In general, I don't expect much momentum from XRP. And then we have some other coins right here. Ondo is very strong, but that seems to be a bit of like it all very much depends on the momentum we see from Bitcoin, right? All of these moves, the volume is not necessarily convincing, right? If you take a look at Ondo, for example, and you take a look at the volume right here compared to the volume we've had before, it's not convincing of a breakout. We had a strong reaction to the POC, so that is relatively convincing. But for Ondo, for example, but the same thing for Sui. Sui is also trying to break out. Sui's volume is a little bit more convincing, but it's also lower than yesterday. So all of these altcoins are trying to break out. It's going to depend on Bitcoin, right? Same thing with Fetch, for example. So that's or ASI, whatever you want to call it. What you see there is that it's trying to break out of this level right here at 65 cents. If Bitcoin is able to break out, it could work. But if Bitcoin is not going to be able to break out, this will lead. There's some major bearish divergences here. This will lead to a massive move to the downside as well. So be aware of that. A lot of altcoins look like that. The main thing to watch for altcoins as well is still Bitcoin. All right, so that is, I think, what you need to know for now. So if you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.